All right, everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to discuss the numbers on July for Newcastle County, Delaware, the real estate market in July, how that did. So for those who haven't watched my previous videos, there's one more previous video. I did June of 2017, so this is July of 2017. So I'm gonna just pick up right where I left off. Basically, what we do here is just go over the month's data that came out on the real estate market and just give a little commentary about it, but most importantly just inform that what's going on. It's the best way to do it, so let's get started. So the first numbers we have for July is the total inventory. In July there was 2,238 homes for sale, which it's a little less than June. And over the previous year in July, it's about a 6.2% decrease. So that just, there's less homes for sale, which is a pretty, it's a pretty, common theme that's been going on these days. Next number we have is inventory accumulation, which is basically how many months it would take for the home to sell. How many months would it take, if no more homes came on the market for sale, how many months would it take for everything to sell? And in July, that number was 4.1. So 4.1 months it would take to sell every house that is currently for sale. That's another decrease over last year's July. That was about a 14.5% decrease. So there's less homes for sale and they're selling quick. So in July we had the pending units. So how many units were currently under contract for sale? They have an offer, they've been accepted, and they're currently waiting to go to settlement. In July, that was 668 homes were pending, which is a pretty big increase over the previous July. There was a 31.2% increase over last year. So that's a pretty good increase for July. July is usually a pretty slow month, because it's summertime. People are just away. They don't feel like buying a house because they want to go on vacation right now. So, but this just July, it's been busy, so we'll see if that continues into the fall. Or if it just continues all summer long, or if maybe takes a break in August and picks back up in the fall. It usually takes a break like in July and August, and then picks up in September. But we're seeing it continue into July, so who knows what will happen then. Next number we have here is the settled units. In July, we had 693, which was it was about 120 unit increase over last year, a 19.7% increase. So it's pretty sizable increase for July. And the next number we have is the total settled volume, so the value of everything that's sold. That number we have is $182 million worth of real estate settled in July. So that's a good amount. That's a really good amount. That's about a little over 15% increase over the previous year. So we're just seeing this continual trend where real estate's not slowing down this summer. So it clearly isn't. Next number we have is the median settled price. So that is $234,000, which was actually a decrease over the previous year. The previous year was $240,000, and this year it was $234,000, so about 2.5% decrease. That's the first time we've seen a decrease in that price in a while, in quite a few months. So, it's July. It could just be people are getting ready. They just want to get rid of the houses, so they're selling them for a little bit cheaper. Maybe people are just getting good deals on houses. That's just 1 month. If it becomes a continual trend, we can say maybe it's something bigger. But that's 1 month. It's like 6,000 increase. It's not that big of a difference. What you want to look at the trends a little bit more at is maybe the average settle price, which is what we have next, and that came in at $261,000 in July, and that's about $10,000 less than last year. So we are seeing the average price come down as well. So we'll see if that continues into like the late summer and fall markets, because like I said, like on the previous statement, if it's just 1 month, it could just be the right house to settle in those months to affect those numbers. But if it continues to go down, we might be seeing something bigger going on. But 1 month, so we'll just take it as it is, and we'll see what it says next month. So the average settle price over the original price, that pretty stable. I mean, it increased 0.2%, so not that big of a difference. People are just getting closer to what they're asking for. So, an interesting thing to see about that is people are getting more of what they're asking for, but the sales price isn't increasing. So what that's meaning that people are actually setting their houses up for sale at a more reasonable price, a little bit lower price than they have been in the past. So that's what we've got going on there. With there's higher average, higher settled price over the original price. So so that's the numbers we have for July. July, like I was saying earlier, is usually a pretty quiet month. Maybe not like super quiet like a December kind of a month, but like it's still pretty quiet where people are on vacation, they're away, they don't really have time to come around and look at houses. People don't really feel like selling their houses as often. But it's been busy. So I mean, I've been busy. I mean, a lot of people I work with have been busy in the summer. So that's what we have going on so far. It's good. It's good to be busy. Obviously, that's where the money's made. But sometimes, there's always a big climb before a big fall. So we'll say if it's just 1 month, a couple months, it's not too big of a deal. But if it's a continual trend where we're super busy when we're not usually busy, there's these things you gotta look out for. That's how you plan and prepare around real estate. So so this is July of 2017. If you guys made it this far, feel free to give it a like. If you have any thoughts, questions, opinions on July of 2017 in the real estate market, feel free to leave them below. Even if you're not in Newcastle County or even Delaware at all, like what's going on in your area of real estate. So feel free to do that. And if you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe. That way you don't miss next month's video on what's going on in the real estate market.